Not today, pal. Not today.
Another pod, another day. Rob shows up on time.
How late was I?
I'm
By
talking
the way,
about
at least
me.
I let everybody know.
Why do you
that
make
I'm
this
late.
about you? I'm talking about me. I'm just proud of
Okay.
myself for showing
Good for
up.
you. Congratulations, you're on time.
Proud of myself
Proud
for
of you.
showing. I've had a rocky past, and some people say, you don't know about him, but the boys were saying, man, Rob shows up on time. Something I think Zolo
Were they saying
said,
that? Were they saying that?
Yeah.
You walked in and they're like, Rob's on time.
And then do you want to know what Zolo said after?
What?
Zolo, do you want to say what you said?
What did I say?
What,
He
I've
goes,
been late
typical
lately?
Jamie on Jamie time.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what Zolo. So I'm just, it's not,
We might be in a fight, Zolo.
No.
I made sure to let you know that what you did that one time is still much worse.
You
than
did.
Oh, it
anything
is.
Jamie has ever done.
You did.
fully agree. Yeah. I just
I've
fully
never
didn't
been
show
more
up.
than 10 minutes late, and I always tell you when I am. I live very far away.
I would say you've been more than 10 minutes late. But remember when we said about James, we were like, he could not show up for work for 2 weeks and everybody would be happy. You could be an hour late. I'd be just as happy to see you. When you accept someone, you accept them for all their flaws. That's what you do.
Okay.
And when you love somebody,
I'll
you just...
take it. I'll take it. No problem.
Speaking of late, so I texted Zolo and Heather the other night. I just had to hey, could you remind me about this? And then I looked away and I was like, oh shit, it's like 10:15 at night. And I was like, is that too late to text somebody?
Right.
And I don't know, maybe because it was a work thing. I'm like, is that too...
You know what? I feel like after COVID, when people started working from home, like all boundaries of when you text and when you email kind of went out the window. And that's been really hard for me because I'm somebody that has anxiety when I get incoming emails and texts where I have to respond right away, as opposed to you'd think like, oh, I can write them and they can just respond to me in their own time. But I don't know. For me, I have a hard time just waiting to respond to somebody.
Yeah.
So I do think you shouldn't be texting them at 10:15.
What's the cutoff? 10?
I don't know. They should tell you.
Well,
6
I want to know
o'clock.
yours, and then
I
I'm
think
going to ask
6
them.
o'clock.
6?
Yeah, the end of a work
Jane,
day.
Are you crazy? Well, listen, if we were like going back and forth and on about something, I'd
Right.
agree more. But this was like, I text them maybe once a week, just like one thing. So it's not, but I think if it was like an all day work, yeah, you got to let them go. But if it's like, if I never text somebody and then I'm like, hey, could you remind me? And I'm also not like, we have a deadline. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, do you want to remind me of this? Guys, do you guys think there's a time that it's inappropriate?
Personally, I don't care whenever you text me. I mean, I think if you're like, I need you to do this thing right now at 10:50, like that might be a little different.
Yeah.
I still probably wouldn't care that much. But I think like, when it comes to things about the show or whatever, like as long as there's no expectation for us to get back to you at like 10:15, like, if we can get back to you in the morning, that should be totally fine. But I mean, I feel the same way. Like if I'm sending you or Tom or Christina something for the show tomorrow, I'm like, it's 9 p.m. Is this inappropriate to be sending this right now?
Never for me. You could send me 3 a.m.
I know.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, do I do the schedule send thing on fucking Gmail where it gets to them at 6 in the morning and they...
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you can do that.
I don't even know.
Like
Cover
Annie's
your
email.
tracks.
If the
Damn
plane's
it.
going down.
I'm mad you remembered.
Oh, like schedule the email. Okay, I thought you meant like...
You're like,
I'll do
nobody
that.
say anything, nobody say anything, nobody say anything.
Right.
I'll do that sometimes so it doesn't look like, especially if it's like 1 a.m., I'm like, this will get there at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. or whatever. Because then I look like a fucking cokehead or something.
What about the other? Well, you were just saying you go running at like midnight sometimes.
Well,
Are
not
you-
anymore because the Rainy Street Rippers out there. But
Yeah, and you're the target.
yeah, a little young for the demographic, but
Are you?
I think he'd still get me. Yeah, they're like mid 30s, early 40s, most of them, I think.
Oh.
And the cops are just denying that this even exists, right? So
Yeah.
like, but there's articles about it and stuff that there's a murder.
What do you mean they're denying
Oh,
it even
yeah.
exists?
Zolo?
I mean, they're saying they're just unrelated and drunk people keep falling into the lake, basically.
But there's been like 10 guys all the same age in the last year-ish.
Yeah.
That are
Kinda
just
what's going
drowning
on?
in the lake?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that they're finding in the lake.
It's wild.
Yeah, so Zolo had to stop running at night. Are you like a big night owl?
I'm trying not to be because it just doesn't really work with our schedule here. But naturally, I'd say
What time
so.
do you wake up in the morning?
Story of my life.
Try to get up around 8 now.
Wow. So
Yeah.
then you're going to bed what? 1, 2?
Midnight. Try
Like halfway
midnight.
through my
midnight
day at
1.
8.
Yeah.
Halfway through your day at 8. Jesus.
Today I woke up on my own at 5:30. But you know what it is? I like it because I get a full hour before I have to wake up my kids. So I like drink my water, I like do my journaling, I drink some coffee, I answer some emails, and then like I'm not like shot out of a cannon waking up my kids and making their lunches and this and that.
Yeah.
I like getting up really early, but I also like going to bed early.
What about the other boys in there? Do we have like a time that's like, hey, if you text after this time, you're an asshole? Because I'm kind of under the impression of like, if somebody has their alerts on at night, that's on them. Like you could text me at midnight, my phone's not making a
Same.
noise. Yeah, like if someone's like, oh, I was like, my dad leaves his phone on all night.
My
I'm
phone's
like,
in
"You're
another
crazy."
room plugged in.
Fully, yeah. I'm all the way. Guys,
Well, mine's turned on all night, and I guess I agree with Zolo. If you're not expecting a response that night, then it's fine. But still, at the same time, I am kind of like, what the fuck? What do you need?
what would that time be?
Probably 10.
Yeah, I think 10's.
Really?
Yeah.
So 9:30 is okay?
Yeah, for me, I think that's... I can't speak for other people. For me, that'd be fine.
I don't know. I just feel like that's like your personal time. What if you're on a date? What if you're out to dinner? Like, and you get like a work email, and then you feel like you got to respond.
Well, that's why. As long as there's no response needed, I
Okay.
think it's fine. And then if it's an emergency or something, it is what it is.
'Cause
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, like, I remember somewhere around the age of 12, we kind of started doing that thing in my school where it was like, oh, I'll call you after school. And then, like, you call each other and then you're
so
on.
exciting. Even
Yeah.
though you're with each other all day,
For
you
some
just
reason.
wanted to
And
talk.
then, like, as soon as you hung up with somebody else, it was like you call the other person and there's like a talking thing going
oh
on
yeah,
at night.
conference call.
Yeah. But I remember that was kind of like 9:55. You'd be like, I'm good to call. And it was like as soon as it hit 10, you're like, yeah, I can't really be calling some because it was all home phones back
Right,
then.
right.
So like your house phone would ring. And I remember one of our friends had a phone in their own room and you could call them at any
Oh,
time.
I had one. Isn't it? I also still remember my old phone number in my room.
I remember some of mine. I remember my first few.
But I remember I used to keep it because it was cordless, and I would keep it in my bed, and knowing somebody was going to call me, and it would ring, and I would like pick it up right away, so the sound wasn't.
Yeah.
know,
Annie,
I
is
was,
there
like,
a
tugging
time?
it.
Is there a time for you?
No, I don't really care. I mean, I'm probably not going to answer you no matter what.
Yeah,
so
I would.
it's,
I
like,
would.
not really
I would
big.
believe that about you. I would
Yeah.
feel like I wouldn't stress you out.
Yeah.
I feel like the times I've texted you, you've been pretty responsive.
Oh yeah, I guess because you've usually texted me about stuff that needs to happen the next day, right?
Oh yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
it's like
I-
sound shit or
I'd
whatever.
say most things that you text me are low-key emergencies. You just don't realize it.
Yeah, and he's the king of the ghosting text approach.
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
That tracks.
Gotta do it, man.
all right.
Gotta
That
do it.
works. So James, here's something I was thinking about the other day. I was watching UFC. If let's say your husband was a UFC fighter, what do you think the age is where you start letting your sons, your two boys, go to the fights when he's having a fight?
10?
Wow, really? 10?
Is that too young?
Man, I mean, it's because here's the thing, right? I saw a lot of fights when I was growing up, but they were all,
Yeah, it's pretty traumatic to watch your dad get the shit beat out of him. I bet.
right.
Yeah.
But here's the problem, right? The fights that I saw growing up were a minute. Like a minute's a long fight. You know what I mean? These are 25
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Where like you see somebody's face is gushing blood, and they're just like, no, we got to get back in there and keep getting punched in the face. Like that's got to be
Yeah.
traumatic.
Yeah.
Or like, you see him break his leg when Connor broke his leg. Like you see somebody get their leg broken or like,
Yeah, I don't know. Then I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I think maybe like more like 13 because none
That
of the
still
fights.
feels young too.
No, I think 13 maybe is like none of the
Why?
fights.
What's the difference? What is the maturity that comes with 13?
Maybe it's just that I see like Bo is like 10, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I see Bo and I'm like, nah, he shouldn't
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
like
he
his
would-
dad get
he
the
would-
shit.
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, he'd be devastated.
Uh-huh.
So, I remember like none of the fights that I saw growing up like really traumatized me in any way, except for I remember. So my cousin and my uncle were like, I had a few father figure kind of guys in my life, and like they were the ones who I looked at and I was like, these guys are the best. Like they're so cool. And my cousin, who's a big dude, was like, yo, I got us fireworks. And it was like just a regular day in New York City. And he's like, let's go in between, like, so it was 90th Street between 1st and 2nd. So it's like, we're just on a regular street in New York City, and he's like, we're going to light these off. And it's like, I don't even think it was dark out yet. And he lit a fucking firework, and it was one of those ones that are like, vroom, and like shoot out.
Straight out.
And there were like 6 dudes, like a bunch of drunk Irish guys, like sitting on a stoop, like drinking beers in brown bags and whatever. And there was like one of their wives, I think, with like 2 kids over there. And like, they were neighborhood guys. Like, you knew them. Like, my friend's dad would always sit over there and kind of drink or whatever. And this fucking firework, he lit the first one he lit was like, whoop, and just fucking flew right at them. Like, right at them. And it was the most like business thing I've ever seen. Like, they didn't run. They stood up. They put their beers down. They started, like, all of them started walking over. And my cousin looked at me, and so like we were in the street lighting the fireworks, and he put me on the sidewalk, and he was like, yo, stand right here. And he's like, don't move, okay? I was like, okay, all good.
How old are you?
I don't know. It could be
Ballpark.
7.
Okay, little.
Maybe, yeah.
Little.
And he's like, stand right here, okay? And remember, he's a big dude. And like, I had seen him kind of get in fights before where I was like, oh, he could like really handle himself. And these guys came over, and he was looking at me the whole time, and he's like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. And they just started beating him up. And he just kept, while he was getting beat up, he just kept looking at me like on the sidewalk. And he was like, stay there. He was like, I'm okay. He's like, I'm all right. And it was just like, poof, poof, and getting beat up. And like, and they didn't beat him up for like too long. It was probably 20 seconds where they were just, and that's the only fight. And I saw a lot, like growing up in New York City, crazy, drunk Irish family like this. But my friends were nuts. Like, that one, I remember because he looked at me right in the face the whole time. I was like, I'm okay. And then like right after they were done, like, hitting him, he was literally like, sorry guys, and like,
That literally sounds like a scene from Sopranos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and he like got me, and we went
Whoa.
upstairs, and he was like, yo, don't tell your mom about this. Meanwhile, he was like lumped up. I'm like, dude, mom's gonna know, like, and he was just like, don't tell your mom about what happened, because him and my uncle, I would do like birthday parties every year where they would like, the whole thing was like them beating the shit out of us, like in ways that weren't like real punching.
What do you
and stuff.
mean? This was like the party entertainment?
Yeah, like me and my friends would talk about it. Like every year, like 4, 5, 6 of my friends would come over, stay the night. We would send my mom out, and they would just in different ways, like with pillows, they would use like laundry bags and fill it up with different stuff. Like I remember like apples and oranges. They like busted my friend's face open. Like, but it was all like kind
What
of.
is going on?
It was always fun until somebody got hurt, and then it was like serious. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, but it was fun. I remember being like, yo, this is like my friends, we would talk about it all year. I think one of my friends got a concussion.
I was worried about Bo playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Now we're fine.
Well, what age do you think would be okay for them to play football? Like full contact football? Because now it's flag football, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Bo doesn't seem to be the body type that I'll ever let him play football.
You think
Jack
he's
is
breakable?
another story. Yes, he's so tiny.
He's
He's
so
the
skinny.
smallest of all of his friends. He's so skinny. I don't know how he's going to grow. And he's almost lost all his teeth, which means I think you're close to puberty. So there's a part of me that's like, should I check him out because of how small he is? But Jack's a tank. Jack,
Tank.
I don't know, whenever the hell he wants.
Yeah, he could play
He could
tomorrow.
do it now.
Yeah.
I am not afraid about that kid.
Does he ever
is
get in fights with Bo and he could like
solid.
handle himself?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
He hurts Bo.
And the age difference is 10 and what?
They're 4.5 years apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a tank, dude.
He's a full tank. Like you touch him and he's solid. Like it doesn't even, there's not even skin. It's just like a rock, like his whole body. And he
Yeah.
walks around with his shirts off and his little underwear. There's this underwear called Ethicas that boys wear that are like extra long and have all these designs. And he walks around and he'll always be like, am I fat? Am I fat? Because I think Bo tells him he's fat because Bo's super insecure of how skinny he is.
So
I'm
skinny.
like, no, you are not fat. You are so strong. Bo says I'm fat.
He's the best. He's so cool.
But yes, Jack can play football tomorrow.
Do you have like about like being that age? Like, do you have any childhood embarrassing moments that stick out to you where you're like, oh, like I think of this one sticks with me. I'm like,
I
fuck.
remember one. So my brothers were 5 and 8 years older than me. So obviously, like, and then when I became a young teenager, and they would have all their like guy friends around, like these older cute boys, that was obviously I wanted to like hang around and they didn't want me. And I remember my brother and his friends were swimming and I had just come home from something and I was like walking around the pool and I was like pretending I was like balancing on the edge, fully clothed, and I fell in the pool. That was pretty embarrassing. That was pretty rough, especially in front of one of them that I thought was like so cute. I was in the high school play and my shirt fell off. Yep.
How does a shirt fall off?
The costume like came apart. Like I was dancing and the costume like came, like it was like a halter because it was one of those like you have to do like a quick change and it just like snapped open.
And how old are you?
16?
And in front of the audience, they saw
They were
everything?
kids. It was in front. It was like a performance for like the middle school or something. Oh yeah, that was rough. That was really embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck. That I just the embarrassment that I feel like you feel for like a poor like young girl being naked in front of an auditorium.
There was
full
a
of
there was a
boys.
collective
That's so
gasp.
bad.
There was a yeah.
Oh, you poor. Oh.
And I didn't know at first. You know what I mean? Because I'm like moving and then yeah.
Oh, wow. So you're like acting with titties
Yes.
out. Oh,
well, not for that
fuck.
long, but long enough where everyone had a clear shot.
That's so
Thank God there was no phones back then.
Yeah. Well, somebody's probably videoing it still. That's you gotta delete that off of
I
their
never thought
computer.
about that.
Yeah. So it's weird because my memory is also a shirt off thing. That's so it was recess. Like, so everybody comes out of our school and we get let out onto a city block and the city block is like closed, but everybody
Yeah.
comes out all together. So there'd be like, there's probably like 1,000 kids in my school. So say there's like 300-400 of them just like standing around, whatever. And my friend Malik comes up from behind me and I don't know any like I'm wearing a hoodie like I am to just always a hoodie. And he takes the hood and like wrapped it over my head and like was like, guess who it is or whatever the fuck he was saying. And like I went to like take my hoodie off, but everything came off.
Oh no.
So there's like
Robbie.
300, 400 kids.
And you
And
had
I
your
was
shirt off.
so fat
Yeah.
at the time. I was like, I was probably 180, 190 pounds, 5 foot nothing, 11 years old, so fat and so pale. And again, when you look back, I'm like, it could have been fine if I was just like, oh, like, yeah, this is embarrassing, whatever, put my shirt on. But I was like, I remember because again, I didn't know that like the shirt was off. And then all of a sudden I look around and there were like 300 kids looking at fat Robby. Oh, the pain. The pain. Just 3 o'clock, tits out, belly
Same.
pale.
It was probably the same
pale-
year. Probably the
pale-
same time that happened to
Pale
us.
as ever. Just the palest, fattest kid. And then like the worst part was the t-shirt is inside of the
Yeah,
hoodie.
so you can't. There's no graceful way to get it back on.
And I remember like sitting there, reaching into the hoodie, trying to take the t-shirt out and just hearing like, again, thank God, no phones,
Oh yeah.
no pictures. But and my boy my boy was like, yo, like my bad. And I was like,
And
fuck
did it?
you.
Were you fucked up the rest of that day? The rest of that week?
No, because that's probably around the time where it was like we go to the park and start like we're just starting like smoking weed and like smoking cigarettes and drinking. So I was like, oh, this will be, we'll forget this memory in 45 minutes when I'm like, I probably got drunk off like 140 when I was 12, like hammered.
Off 140?
Yeah, like you drink a 40 and you're like,
I'd be unconscious
fuck.
with 140.
Yeah, then by the time we were like 14, 15, it was like we would drink 340s and be like, all right, like what are we gonna,
Wow.
It was hard to like get that much beer to the park. And then you'd be in the park and then you'd like not be drunk and be like, well, we got to go get more beer. And you're like, oh, and it was like hard to get beer or something. It was a real fucking bitch. But speaking of us looking cool, Zolo, do you have those pictures that I asked you
Oh yeah.
to get of us?
Who do you want first?
Whoever. You want to go first? Ladies first? Jamie-Lee? Jamie's
I don't know what
first?
that is. What? Oh, I'm all tatted.
Yeah. So this is a little thugged out.
Wow. I think it kind of works on me, guys.
Yeah, I think you're kind of pulling that off.
What do you think?
You don't look retarded. Usually like 7 face tattoos and you're like really looking stupid,
No, they work on me.
I don't know why it's giving me Kalila vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, very Kalila.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I fuck with it.
Yeah.
It's dope.
What about Robby? What do we got for Robby?
Oh, Robby works. I hate the fucking bull piercing though.
This
course
dude's
you got-
such a scumbag.
yeah.
Do we have the exact same tattoos?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Of course, you got the same ones as Jamie.
I look like Mac. I mean, I didn't make these. I look like Mac Miller,
You do.
right?
You kind of do. Now I feel like you're not a jackass. Yeah, or you might be kind of cool.
I mean, you
actually.
have roses and hearts and stars and dolphin or something on your face.
Well, no, Mac Miller's cool. This guy, Rob's a jackass. It's fine. You could keep with the Robbie.
Wow. I
Robbie
liked it
beanie.
on me.
It's interesting that you guys chose like a picture of me in a suit out of all the stupid
Yeah.
pictures of me on the internet.
You know what? That's what it is. That's why
Yes.
you're a scumbag. Because
Yeah.
you're doing that in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
suit. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Do we have, staying on the picture note, do we have a memory lane? Okay.
Rob,
I can, what?
what? It doesn't even look like you.
Because
Your hair. I don't ever remember your hair like that.
the Burberry drip?
Burberry drip. This was a SAG Awards.
You look
is
high.
My guess. I do. I wasn't, but I do. I look sleepy. This was the SAG Awards?
I don't know. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is the SAG Awards. I'm going to say, the year 2005, I'm going to say. What do we got?
I'm going to say 2004.
2003.
Ooh, okay. So Robbie's 18 there? Okay. Yeah, it's party
Is it
Robbie.
the SAG Awards, though? Were we right?
You could always tell how much Rob is partying by his complexion, which is
You're
nice.
very pale.
Which is very nice next to Jamie's tan. Is there
You
anybody
are
whiter than me?
No one.
So now
You are
imagine
fluorescent.
Imagine this guy 70 pounds heavier in front of an
Right.
entire
I know,
school of
I
kids
know.
shirtless.
I know.
So tough, but we made it through. At 18, we were at the SAG Awards in Burberry. So fuck you guys. Everyone who laughed at
That
Fat
doesn't even
Robbie.
look like me.
Fuck you. But I would have left too.
I was gonna
What?
say this doesn't look fat to me though.
No.
You're-
No,
I was
he's
saying
not.
60
Oh.
pounds. I said, imagine that guy 60 pounds heavier.
Got you.
That's full coke. I'm
Got you.
doing so much coke here. No time to eat.
I was
I'm
like, man-
smoking cigarettes, doing coke.
Yeah, you look like you're like tough, like you fucking bulking or some shit. You building muscle, you know?
Like his
that
neck looks
square
thick,
ass
right?
Jawline, like,
Yeah.
you look tough as shit.
Yeah, throw some tattoos on that face, and we might really have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Here's something I was wanting to talk about, and I'm like, somebody's had to talk about this, but somehow I feel like it's not something that gets brought up, which is like, when do you think the term baby got sexualized? Because like, if you think about it outside of our culture, let's say nobody here ever called the person that they were like having sex with baby, and we found out there was another country where the people had sex with people and called them baby. If it wasn't normal here, we'd be like, wait, they do what?
But I feel like people say baby everywhere. Like even
But that's what I'm saying. Imagine we feel like it's very normal because it happens all the time. Like if you start dating somebody, it's normal to be like, hey, baby, baby this, or like, even in porn, it's like, oh, baby, like,
Yeah.
whatever. But if we never heard anyone call each other baby while having sex, and it was like, yeah, there's this country where like they call each other, like they call the person they're having sex with baby, because we would think of baby. Like, put it this way.
but
Imagine,
people do it in music, which is why I think it's like a universal thing.
right. Well, it's definitely
understand
it's
your
definitely universal.
hypothetical.
But here's a better way to put it. Imagine the first dude who was having sex with a girl, and he was like, "Oh, baby," and she was probably like, "What?" Like if that happened now for the first time, there would be a girl on TikTok like, "So I went on a date with this guy. Like I met this guy on Tinder, right?" And she was like, "And I thought everything was going good, and we're having sex, and he called me baby." Like, I think that's like that might be one of those things we look back on 100 years from now and be like, "Wait, everyone was calling each other baby when they had like the person they were sleeping with."
This is a hard one for me to get on board with because that's all Cutter and I call each other.
Yeah, you're a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like he only calls me that.
I don't know. Guys, do you think that we might be missing something where it might be weird to call the person you're... Because, like, obviously, worst thing in the world you could be is a fucking... having sex with
Anytime I
underage.
dated a guy and he started calling me baby, he moved from babe to baby, I knew we've moved to another level. It was like a telltale sign for me
which
that
is
I was like,
kind of-
oh, we're getting somewhere.
Like,
here.
if nobody called anybody baby and then you found out that, like, during sex, two people were like, oh, baby. Like, you'd be like, wait, what? Like, a baby? Is anybody thinking that this might be something that we're missing here?
It's a great point.
At least the
Okay.
word isn't infant or newborn.
Right.
But it means the exact same thing.
I don't know. It's like I'm taking care of you. I don't know. It seems
Yes.
normal to
I
me.
wonder
Yes.
what came first,
Yes,
babe
that's
or
what it
baby?
is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, no, I get it, but I'm just saying it might be
I
kind of
don't know.
like
I'd be the girl
the
on
la-
TikTok and be like, he called me baby.
right. Because I mean, the last thing that you should be thinking about if you're having sex with somebody is like, oh, baby. Like, you know, and I'm just talking about the first guy who said it. For us, it's very normalized.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally,
Yeah.
we see it, we get it.
I bet it came out in the song first.
Like, oh, that's my
guess.
baby. But even still, it's like, wait, I don't want to be your baby.
It says in the Oxford Dictionary, it was in the 17th century that baby was first used as a romantic term of endearment.
And what, is there more? Is there more to
But
that?
like, why?
It's not just English speakers. It's also French, Chinese, many languages. It doesn't really say why.
You know, as Americans, if we found out, if it wasn't normal, we found out there was some country somewhere where they were sleeping with people calling each other, we'd be like, we got to go to war.
Yeah,
We got to kill these people.
Yeah.
Like, because they're just going to take over the world and be calling everybody baby while they fuck. Like, what are these people thinking about? But just because it's normal,
Yeah.
we're like, oh yeah, no, baby. Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing that I feel like.
Yeah. Again, my head can't go there because it's a part of my daily life.
What do we got here? I can't see shit.
I can't read that. You got to do it.
That's mostly what Chad just said. Hold on, I think they're trying to source to like where it was first used.
Because it's weird that I've also never heard one chick who was like, I don't want to be called baby. Like,
Oh, it says baby
definitely
is
met
also
those.
used around that time to refer to attractive young women.
see?
Oh, right, because she's a babe.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
says
So
that
it went
there may
from-
be evolutionary reasons that men infantilize female partners or seek out women who subconsciously remind them of babies.
That's what I'm saying. And what, Jamie, what did you say? What was the whole Paris Hilton thing? Why did she want to talk like a baby, right? Where she's like, oh, yeah.
I don't know why she wants to, but I
Well,
know
you were
she
the one
did.
who told me that
Yeah.
she had like trauma
Oh,
and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So, but that's the thing. It's like, well, why was everyone so turned on by her talking like a baby and like, you know, the whole
Because it's
baby.
innocent.
Yeah.
Innocent.
Because
It's
imagine,
innocent. It's cute. Yeah.
imagine this. Imagine how fucking insane it would be if there was a guy who was like, yeah, I call my girl toddler. You know what I mean? You'd be like, you're a fucking sick creep. Right? And baby's even worse.
I kind of like that. It's kind of funny. Shorten it to Todd. Hey, Todd, what's going on?
All right, that's no traction with Jamie. That's fine. You could just
sorry, I was
no. It's, hey,
trying.
listen, it's okay. I'm trying here. You know. Thanks, Jamie. Do we have a who knows less about Sopranos? We don't do that enough.
We
I
don't.
Think, right?
Oh my gosh. We haven't done that in a long
Oh wait,
time.
before talking about things people find sexy, I wanted to ask you this: why do I find it sexy when a girl wears a jacket like halfway off her shoulders, and I find it
like her arms aren't through it. It's just, or
No,
they're
no.
off the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's just showing skin
But here's the deal:
because it's in a stage of undress. It reminds you of her
right.
taking it off and exposing herself. It's a strip tease. It's a, you know what I mean? It's in the movement of undressing.
Because if it was just a revealing thing, like if there was a girl coming wearing a very revealing dress and a girl wearing a dress but like with the jacket and the shoulder, you're
Yeah.
like, ooh, like
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's what it is, huh?
Yeah.
It's because she's in that state of. Are there things?
Because it's like, I even know with Cutter sometimes, if we're around and like a shoulder or something falls off, he's like,
right, and he's with you all
I
day.
know. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. What are there things like that for guys?
For me,
Like the version of that where you're like this doesn't really make sense, but it does.
I like seeing a guy's back muscles like through his shirt.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Are you laughing at me?
What are you boys doing there? You guys killing bugs in there? What are you doing?
Huh? Killing bugs.
Oh, we're hearing like thumping.
Because they're slamming on the table and laughing so hard.
What about you guys? Is that a thing you like when you see the girl with the jacket halfway off? Or is that just
Well,
me?
yeah.
I mean,
mean,
more
yeah.
revealing the better, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. The answer to me is no. Like I'm saying it's not the more revealing the better. If a girl's wearing a dress
Like a
where
girl could be there with her tits out, tummy out, but then if there's a girl there that just so happens to have a jacket with the shoulder peeking out, that causes brings more attention for him than the other.
Love that.
Yeah, it's because it's just enough.
It's
you know?
seductive. Yeah.
It's just enough to get you to want to see more.
Some things have no rhyme or reason; they just are.
Yeah, I think
Say
Jamie's
it,
good
Chad.
with like that.
Boring.
It's a state of undress. What did Chad start blushing when he said "Shade"? Say it, Chad.
No, I
No.
just
It's a
said
good one.
Annie was being an asshole for no reason
I
back
was just
here.
being mean.
And he's on one today.
No, what? I'm the nicest guy ever.
I didn't say you weren't nice. I just said
Yeah, you
you're
fucking better not say that.
What are the top 5 things you think that like girls do that make you either like horny or that like obviously listen the thing like yoga pants, you see yoga pants, it's like Jesus Christ, like that's a real nice one. When the first side boob started, that really fucked up my whole shit. Like I was stuck on side boob I was like, this is a new, because like, cleavage got kind of old where you were like, okay, like what
Side boob rock
Just
world.
watching, just watching Jamie's face is just like, yeah, what else?
He's like, what else am I not doing for my husband?
I don't even know what my
No,
face
it's-
looks like. Oh
She's
gosh,
just-
what
she's
am I
just like-
doing?
It's just like, yeah, what else gets your dick hard? Wow, so cool.
My life is so random, guys. Like the things that I pop in and out of.
Or you didn't think this would be happening while you were making lunch earlier?
No,
for
I'm
your
just thinking like
boys?
what I'm about to go home to do after this conversation. So
Right.
far, I love it.
Show your husband some side.
I'm
boob.
going. I'm
What
gonna
boys?
show him some shoulder tonight.
Do we have some stuff that are like the side boob, the yoga pants, things that for you really like set you off?
I like. I was talking about this the other day. I'm a fan of the attractive girls who have some kind of talent or artistic thing that they put on like Instagram or socials. So they aren't like flaunting their attractiveness. They're showing off their skills, but also they happen to be hot.
Like what kind of skills?
Like painting or drawing. Or what? Why is that funny?
Acting.
Being a mom to 2 boys.
Stupid fucking asshole.
Making sandwiches in the morning. Waking up an hour early before her kids.
Podcasting.
So
Fucking God is
stupid.
that.
Stupid.
Oh, poor Chad. What about you, Zola?
What about
Anything?
a girl's neck? Like if she wears her hair up and like you see her neck.
Yeah,
I think that is very attractive
I
on a
was gonna
woman.
say, I think a ponytail
Yeah.
can be nice.
That's what I was
Like or a
just
slick
going.
back bun when you see a girl's like neck. I always think the women are so beautiful.
More so ponytail than bun for me.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's
Just
something
the
about when you're
flowiness.
walking behind a girl and her ponytail is like perfectly going side to side. It's
Oh
like
my
it's,
God,
that's
it
where
looks
they
like a
that's where
horse.
they got the hypnotize. That's where they got the doctor got the hypnotize thing from. Because if I'm walking behind a chick and her fucking ponytail's going inside, I could walk 3-4 blocks. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'm not. I walk past my crib. It's like a whole thing. Yeah, that's a nice good call. The ponytail's a good one. Any, you got anything?
Besides, so what do we just fucking say? Yeah.
No butt guys here? No butt.
Like
Well,
the-
yeah, of course, but
well,
something
yeah,
that's a
but
little
those are-
unique.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
Okay.
obviously that's what I'm saying. Yoga pants, it's the butt. Like that's
Right,
what
right,
it's.
right, right,
yeah.
right.
The best is when like some new thing comes out that like all the girls are talking about and like guys love it because it's like, yeah, this is perfect for your ass
What
or
do you mean?
something.
The new style is that women wear like no pants. They're wearing like shorts that literally look like briefs. Have you not seen women like out and about wearing these?
Like what like female wrestlers wear or something?
Could we pull up a picture?
More like Lululemon type, like
Oh, yeah.
athletic.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no.
shorts.
I'm talking like when they're going out at night to like dinner, they're wearing like dress shorts. Like they'll be like sequined and they'll be like, they'll literally look like full like men's briefs, but they're, and they'll wear them with like tights or just their legs
Jamie's
out.
very fashion forward. She's always ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah, you know me.
You know?
No, those are not the shorts I mean. No.
These are all
Look
very
up, like-
unattractive. You want a
well,
list
like-
of things that don't do it for me? Whatever you just Googled.
Be like
women's
2024
dress shorts?
shorts,
Ugh.
women's shorts trend.
They're dressed like the guy from like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Who's the
There it
guy?
is,
Who's the
there it is.
nerdy guy in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, James?
Like there, that second picture. Or the first, yeah. Like that's how people no. Yeah, like that model on the runway in the black. That's how women are wearing. Nope, up.
The one that he has
Yes.
highlighted on the right. Zoom in on that. All right. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't do it for me though. I don't really care about that. I'm not a stockings guy. Are any of you guys stockings guy? I'm not no. I don't want those.
Not really.
Eh.
I'm not really a lingerie guy either.
No, I'm not I'm a hoodie sweatpants.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah, yeah,
Lingerie,
yeah.
it's just like, yeah, you tried.
Oh,
That's
Cutter
sweet.
begs me to wear lingerie.
Really?
Not interested.
There's
Yeah.
times for it, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not one of those things. Like I just see one, I'm like, oh my god.
No
Yeah.
way. And I
It's
think
got to be like a time.
I think we've talked about this
I feel like
exact
it's
thing.
like a childhood thing.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I think we've talked about this exact thing, but what I notice it does for me is like, if I'm dating somebody for 4 months, like it's hard to remember like a specific us having sex. But then if she's like, remember I came out in that red thing, and you're like, oh yeah,
Sure.
it does. It like it puts that like thing where I'm
Yeah.
like, I remember you walking out in that, like, whoa, like okay, but I don't find it. But I've gone with girls to like try on bathing suits. I like that. Yeah.
Wow, that's a confident woman to take you bathing suit shopping. She like walks out of the dressing room trying them on.
Well, I mean, we've had sex before. I know what's going on
There's
there.
still, I don't
Plus,
know.
Robbie's paying for him, so he's
Never.
gotta like,
I've never paid.
that's what it
I've never
was.
paid for a woman's bathing suit in my entire
for
life.
real, you're taking girls bathing suit shopping. You're not
Fuck
picking up
no,
any
I'm
of
not
it?
paying. Are you crazy? And not only that, I've gone to a place like Aloe with a girl I'm dating, and when it's time to fucking buy shit, I'm buying my shit. She's buying her shit.
Hilarious.
I'm not
Whoa.
buying. But when it comes to meals, I guarantee you, I put anybody who's trying to talk shit in there under the table. Robbie's paying for some good meals.
Wait.
Yeah.
Always, it's on Robbie.
So is that forever? Like if you were dating a girl for 3 years and you go to fucking Macy's, she's buying her own shit, you splitting that bill?
Well, I think by then you like discuss financial things and you have your own kind of understanding. But I'm not just gonna be like, hey, whenever you want clothes, they're on me. Like that's fucking crazy. That's just setting a bad fucking. That is not no bueno.
Huh.
Food though, I'm
Whenever
okay.
you want Uchi, it's on.
Whenever
It's on
you
me.
want Uchi, it's on Daddy. Yeah, I'm good for restaurants. When I don't like whether it's fucking.
But are those that different? Aren't they kind of like you're just kind of treating them to something?
I just feel like we're sharing an experience. There's an experience
it's
together.
because he gets something out of the food.
No,
That's
no,
why.
no, because I would just go, it's not even that. It's like,
I'm
because again,
kidding.
I get something out of the clothes, maybe even more than her eating. Like, I don't care if she, you know what I mean?
That's
But
true,
like,
that's true.
but yeah, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, let me buy you this bathing. I feel like, ugh, like I feel gross with that.
I don't know. That's so interesting that it translates as gross.
So how long are you dating a girl before you're buying all of her clothes for her?
All of them?
Not all of them, but every
goddamn,
once in a
but,
while.
Oh,
like,
that's
if I take
different.
her shopping, yeah, like I'm buying her shit. Yeah.
Oh, I've never taken a girl shopping in my entire life.
Oh my god.
Never one time.
Jamie, what do you think of this all? Is Rob being cheap, not buying
Oh
his
yeah,
girl
Jamie,
anything?
sorry.
I mean, look, I'm a woman that's like always bought my own shit, supported my own self, always. And in the beginning of Cutter and I's relationship, he had no money. So like I would have never expected him to, but there were instances where he like I would go shopping and not buy something, and then a week or two later he went and got what I
That is sweet.
didn't get
Yeah.
for me, which is very kind.
That's a nice
and
move.
lovely.
Yeah.
But I've been in a relationship so long that like there's no my money, your money, like at all. It's
course.
literally just all ours. But we do check in with each other where I'll say like, I bought myself a couple of things today, and he'll always be like, great, good, do it. But
Yeah.
I get annoyed when he keeps buying more.
You know, I
Fiore
got
things.
I got a good one for you. So
What?
maybe the only thing I really ever bought a girl, but maybe like probably like 3 or 4 things where I've like bought a girl something. I got her an iPad for her birthday, and she asked me after, she was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much," whatever. And then later she was like, "How come you didn't get it like inscribed? Like you could get on the back?" And I was like, "Because then when we break up, you're gonna have to look at that." Or like whatever, and that made her so upset.
That would make me so upset too. Why the hell? You cannot give somebody a gift and be like, but when we break up.
No, I didn't say that. She asked me
Oh.
later. Like it wasn't like, oh my god, thank you. Where's the inscription? Like it was like a time
After
had
you had
passed,
broken up?
and then I think somebody was talking about like getting something. No, we were still together, but it was talking
That's
about like
so fucked up.
But it was like getting something inscribed, and she was like, "Well, again, I'm honest, Yame. Oh, that was the thought. They said, do you want to inscribe this?" And I was like, "Well, then if we break up, like the iPad's gonna last longer than me."
That's when you lie. That's when you're
I
just
do
like,
not.
no, I didn't think we needed. I didn't think you needed it or would have wanted that. That's not. It's not a lie as much as like it's part of the truth. But you don't have to say that.
You could have
Told her the
said
truth.
like, when a newer model comes out and you want to sell this one,
There
you'll
you
have
go,
an easier
Chad.
time.
There you go.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he's saying
yeah.
that'd be a lie, and he doesn't want to be disingenuous, right?
I should have just put baby.
That's it.
Because then it could be anybody.
Could be
There you go.
Could
anybody.
be any chick who loves to get plowed.
Oh,
It's funny
yeah.
though. I'm pretty sure we just discovered why it's gross to you to buy girls gifts. I think
Yeah,
it was that moment.
I was gonna ask, have you had a lot of girls like feel like they're kind of using you for your money and trying to like get shit out of you?
I've had people, but not girls. No, girls never really because they see what they're getting. Like Robby don't buy you shit. Like it ain't like I had friends back in the day who like broke as fuck, buying chick shit. Like I never. But again, I'm keeping you fed. Robby's keeping your tummy
Yeah.
full. You know,
Yeah.
I do that. I keep the roof over the Robby's. I got shelter. I got stuff like I got nice sheets, soft sheets. But I'm not buying your clothes ever. No.
So I shouldn't send you this link to this guitar I've been eyeballing.
You should put that on your dating profile. I
Oh.
will not buy you.
I will not
clothes.
buy you flowers. Yeah,
I
no,
will
I,
not.
I buy girls
I
flowers.
will not buy you
sometimes.
anything but food.
Isn't it weird that he just said what I bought you for Christmas?
Yeah, Rob got me a guitar.
Got Jamie a guitar for Christmas.
Sweet. What kind?
It's a Gibson learning one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Why are you laughing? Rob always gets good Christmas gifts.
I'm
He
a-
does.
I'm a
He's
pretty
very
good
thoughtful.
But also that's because most people I just give them a bunch of money and they're really happy with it. But with you, I have to actually put
And my
thought
kids
into it.
too. You get them good gifts.
Oh yeah, yeah. Bo's getting old enough where I could just slide him a hundo.
Yeah.
which is nice.
Because he'll put it towards an Xbox game or something.
Yeah. That's like when I know all my family's taken care of because I could just dish out money. It's so nice and so easy.
My family just stopped. We stopped giving each other gifts many years ago. Like no one in my family gives each other gifts at all.
This might be a thing because what's interesting is I remember when we went to I was living in Vegas and you came with your whole family and you were like, come to dinner with us. And I came out to dinner and I remember like it was time for the bill to come and like you didn't even move. And I was like, because in my head I was just like, oh yeah, we're the ones who pay for dinner. I always thought. And then
No,
like
my dad won't
And then
let
your
me.
dad paid for dinner and I was like, wow.
Well, that's
like,
a respect thing for my dad. My dad, I have paid for some things, but my dad is the guy, like, he's so proud because he grew up so poor that he can do it, that, like, no, like, you don't, I've learned the hard way that, like,
yeah.
you don't do that. You don't do that. I've gone to places where I've said, like, Dad, please let me treat everybody like this is on me and we'll talk it through. But like when it's his vacation or whatever, it's all on him.
Yeah, I've had both in my family. There's
But
some
no one gives
people-
each other presents. Birthday presents, Christmas presents, nothing. Just kids, that's it. Like little kids.
Yeah, some people in my family it feels very expected for me to pay, which it should because I
You have
a
more
dinner
than
that
them.
we go to would mean not a lot to me. Where with them it would be like, okay, well now how do we do this
Yeah.
at the end of the month or like
Yeah.
where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like
Yeah.
it feels good to.
Of course.
But to see you not even budge, I was like, that must be nice. That must be a good fit. I don't think I've ever been at a dinner where like at the end I didn't even like. I was like, all right, let's go. Like that's
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
The last dinner we went to in New York with my dad. My dad, I forget something happened where my dad wanted to take us out to dinner. We went to like a nice steakhouse on the Pops. It was nice.
That's nice.
Nice move.
Sure
All right.
felt good.
All right. Well, that's an app. We'll see you guys
See
next
ya.
Thursday.